Welcome to Get Set, an old girls entertainment podcast where we talk set life and stories as three women in the TV and film industry. Today we don't have, well, we kind of have three women today. We have Hannah, but she is actually out. She's traveling. She got booked at South by Southwest for comedy.
Nice.
So go, Hannah.
Yes.
And then Monique is with us in body and in spirit, but not in voice because, you know, she's on vocal rest. She lost her voice. So no Monique's voice today, but she is with us answering questions and sitting with us and handling the tech, which is lovely. But on top of that, we do have Tiffany Hughes here. We have a very special guest. Tiffany and I met set PAing together on a show.
Yes.
And Tiffany set PAs, she writes, produces, directs, and acts. So acts a little bit, you say?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of acting, which is enough acting.
No, I'll claim it. I'll take it.
Yeah. So Tiffany, we brought you on because with the three of us where we all started with school. However, you and I have talked and you did not start like learning about the industry in school. You kind of learned about the industry by jumping into the industry.
Right.
Which is why we think your story is so valuable to our listeners, because there's plenty of people out there who don't go to school for
filmmaking.
Film. Yeah. And so, you know, while we had that edge, we want to know what it was like, what your experience was like, not being able to like have that as a resource and getting started. So let's talk about how you got started. How did you get started?
How did I get started? Well, I will say it's been quite a ride.
Mm-hmm.
I'm originally from North Carolina, and I went to school, my degrees in English with a concentration in electronic media. So at the time, I thought I wanted to work in news. So when I worked in news, my friend was able to set me up with an internship, and I worked in news. And I realized that as much as I love working in news, I didn't like it as much as I thought it would. It's a little bit more morbid and sad than I wanted to deal with.
Yeah.
But then I started working with the entertainment reporter, which was a little bit more exciting. I was able to do like sizzle reels with them and got a chance to work camera and edit. And so that's when I kind of realized like, hey, I can shoot a movie. And so I got a camera. And
what camera did you start with?
Oh man, this was before phones were like the thing where you can make your own movie. But this is I got the Panasonic DVX100,
nice.
Which was like 24p. It was like everything you needed to have in order to make your own like feature film if you wanted to. So I got me a camera and I got my friends together, my family, and I was like, hey, we're gonna do this short. The title of the short was "Don't Talk, Just Listen." And basically it was about this guy who was dealing with like mental illness, but it was supposed to be like a comedy too. So kind of twisty in a kind of way. Yeah. So I did that and I realized how much I liked it. And so I was like, you know what? I can do this. So why not move to California? Why not me? And that's pretty much what I did. My family, surprisingly, were very supportive. And to this day, I owe a lot to them about, you know, how supportive they are. Because I don't think you can do this industry without having a support system. So I just want to say that right out the gate. Decided I was going to move to LA, kind of like, what's that show with the country people and they moved to Beverly Hills? The Beverly Hills Villas?
Is that
Beverly Hills Villas? Okay, kind of like that, because I'm from a small town, like 100 people in North Carolina. When I came out here, I was going to go to USC because they had like a summer program. And then I checked it out and I was like, you know, for $3,000, I probably can like make my own movie.
Yeah.
This is when UCLA was just starting out with their extension program, the film and TV extension program. So I had already had my degree in English from North Carolina, but I wanted to get like more hands-on experience with film and TV. So I moved out here and I started doing the UCLA film and TV extension. But because I didn't know anybody except for Craig, aka Craigslist, didn't know where to live. I didn't have a roommate. I knew no one. So I go on Craigslist and I didn't even know about Craigslist until one of my friends, I was like, you know, I don't have anywhere to live. She's like, girl, go to Craigslist. I'm like, what's Craigslist? So anyway, if you don't know what Craigslist is, it's like this huge resource that you can go to. It was before like Facebook was like the thing to go to.
Yeah.
So I go to Craigslist and I find a roommate off Craigslist. I don't know this guy. And luckily enough, he
so
wasn't.
Scary.
It could have been very scary.
Yeah.
But he was amazing.
Good. Okay,
and
great.
Yeah,
happy ending.
Happy ending, right? Like a really cool guy. He lived in West Hollywood, so a great spot to live in. I didn't know what area of town I should live in, but yeah, landed there. And he was cool, and he basically got me my first PA job. It was at a production company, and it was a cool PA job. I really liked this job because I was able to do office PA work as well as field PA work. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, the two don't exactly intertwine when you're on set.
Yeah.
Either you're going to be a set PA or a office PA.
Right.
So with this one, I was able to do both, and I learned a lot. But then a part of me was like, when I first got here, I was like, I kind of want to act too. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing PA work, you cannot act.
No.
Because you're always on set.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I appreciate, and it was a great opportunity. Like he got me the PA job, and then he also knew some writers, which was really cool. So I got a chance to like be on set and see what the writers did on set for us, like sitcom. The guy was working on a sitcom at the time. So then I started doing background acting.
Yeah.
And nice. I realized what a background actor does and how they are essential to the plot, because a lot of times you don't think that you need background until you realize how important they are to the scene. And then I looked up on being a stand-in. And that's when I really got the chance to see all the different departments and what everyone does without being told, hey, thank you, background, go back to holding.
Yeah.
And then we'll call you when we need you. As a stand-in, I was able to be there on set and just watch and learn. And I feel like that really gave me the know-how what people did on set. Yeah. And so a lot of people don't even know what a stand-in is. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what a stand-in is, it's basically the person who stands in for the lighting, for the DP, the director of photography.
Yep. And we have a whole episode.
Yes.
Janae came
on. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we have 2 episodes actually, because she talked about background stand-in and then a tad of photo doubling.
Yes.
As well. Yeah.
So I think stand-in work is such an amazing opportunity if you can get it. And if anyone asks, how do you get that? It's like a lot of things in the industry. You really just have to be at the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you look like the actor.
Yeah.
And that's not always essential. Sometimes they have utility stand-ins where they'll have a woman standing in for a man or a man standing in for a woman. It just depends on what the DP needs. Mm-hmm. And what the director is okay with. Yeah. So did some stand-in work on some features, and I really realized what all the different departments were. And I really was like blown away with how many people it took to make a project come together. And then from there, I just started picking up like small little gigs, shooting and filming and putting people's like content together. So this was probably like, I've been out here for over like 10 years. And so I just kind of like a mixture of doing background, stand-in, PA, and then the writer's strike hit. Mm-hmm. And things slowed down for me big time. And so from there, I think I told you how I equate working in the industry like riding waves. Mm-hmm. So I'm a black chick that surfs. So just in case people wondering what I look like. But and I think a lot of times the uncertainty of the industry is a lot like catching a wave. Mm-hmm. Because when you're working, it's great.
Yeah.
You're on a high, you're like doing what you love to do. But it's like when there's no waves, it's extremely calm and it's uncertain. You just don't know when your next or what your next gig is going to be. So I actually took a job in real estate for a little bit.
Cool. Monique also does real estate.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Hey, very nice. Yeah. So I took a job.
You just started, right? Ish. A year.
Okay.
So yeah. As she whispers, about a year. She sold 2 properties.
Oh, so nice. Very nice. All right. So yeah. So I started in real estate doing some property management.
Cool.
And I learned a lot of ins and outs with that. And then I started picking like photography jobs with that, video jobs for that. And then slowly, ironically, I was still kind of like in the loop of entertainment because I would do film festivals. Cool. And so I would submit once again to Craigslist. They're looking for volunteers. So I worked like the LA Film Festival, AFI, the American Film Market, which is a little bit different than your typical festival. It's more like a distribution festival. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just networking that way. Fast forward to present, I applied to a job again off Craigslist. This festival was looking for van drivers.
Okay.
So they were looking for drivers to pick up talent from the airport. This was an international festival. I was like, yeah, I have a stellar driving record. I can pick up people from, the airport, no problem, and hopefully get the chance to network, because some of the talent was actually up for some international nominations for Oscars. So it was a really cool opportunity to like network.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I met some of the drivers that were really cool. Most of them were like creatives as well. One guy in particular, he was a writer and actor, and he knew that I had done some. I was assistant on a movie, and so we basically just stayed in contact. So probably like this was pre-pandemic. Just out one day, I saw him. He was like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And I was like, at the time, I just actually finished wrapping on a non-union short, and I got hired as AD on that. And he's like, "Oh, I know you like the AD, but he's like, I know you also want to produce. Like that's like what you really want to do." He's like, "Well, I have this guy who's looking for some help on his project. It was a feature." And he's like, "Are you interested in it?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, I can do it. Because of course you can do it. Like, why would you not say?" The
answer's always yes.
The answer's always yes. Yes. I told him I could do it, so he brought me on to that project. And ironically, he did not work on that project, but he brought me on to it and introduced me to the director. And the director, we spoke, and he hired me as a second on that. Okay.
Wow.
So I was working on that, and then I met the production manager, who was really cool, and took me under her wing. And she, after finishing that project, she sent me this like listing about this job opportunity for this TV show. And I submitted to that. The TV show saw my resume and they liked it. And that's how I met you.
Yeah.
So,
hi.
I had to encounter like 6 people in order to land on that TV show, including like the one PA who was like, "Hey, Tiffany, are you available? Or do you still want to come back? You want to work?" And if he listens to this, he knows who he is. But I was like, "Yeah, I do. I like working with you guys." And they would call me back. My wave onto the TV show was like through 6 people. So it wasn't the type of situation where, I picked up the phone or I sent out an email for one person. It's kind of like I had to work like 5 jobs to get to that one.
Yeah.
So it was a very like...
It's so crazy the way that is, like the way that the world works in that way. And especially the industry, that it's so network. It's all about networking. And it's just like one job will lead to the next, which will lead to the next. I mean, we've encountered it just with like our stories of like meeting up and like being able to like, work with each other. It's like, oh, I knew this person, which then led me to this person, which it's insane.
Yeah. And they may not necessarily be like people in the industry. Because I look at when I was working the film festival, I never thought by working at a festival that I would eventually end up on a TV show. Like it never occurred to me that the two would be like connected.
Right.
So, and not to say that you shouldn't always, do your best or whatever, but you just never know who you're around, who can see like what you're about and then want to put you on, or better yet, want to work with you.
Yeah.
So it's always important.
I just have a couple questions about the start. When you went to school, where was it that you went to school?
I went to North Carolina Central University.
Okay. And then when you were getting into news or wanting to get into news, what was the avenue that you were like looking to go into? Like, is it like, I just wanted to be news and figure out where in there I wanted to be? Or were you like, I want to write for the news, I want to be a journalist? Or
I started actually doing photojournalism.
Okay.
And so one of my friends knew that I also was interested in doing more like video, more visual. And he knew someone that was looking for an intern. And that's how I got my into the news.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. And then when you moved out here, well, first of all, in North Carolina, you made, was it the one short film, or did you do other things as well out there?
I did that one short film, but I was doing sizzle reels for the news.
Or what were you doing for the sizzle reel?
For the sizzle reel, I was doing a video operator. Okay. So operating the camera and video editing. So that's when I realized like, hey, I can shoot my own short. That's what kind of gave me the inspiration to get my Panasonic DVX100.
Yeah.
And go out and shoot my movie.
Shout out to
DVX100.
Yeah. Sponsor us.
Just
So that move out to California, let's talk about like what that was like, because I'm sure scary to begin with.
I came out here twice. So the first time I flew out to check out the program at SC, and then I realized how expensive it was. So I reconsidered that. And then I decided that I still wanted to move out here, but I wanted to do a different route. The good thing about the UCLA program is that it's taught by industry professionals. And so I like that aspect. Yeah, so I flew out here and then decided to go to UCLA. And then when I decided to like make it official to move out, again, I got on Craigslist. And I locked down an apartment because I knew it was important for me to find housing. Yes. And then once I had that locked down, I flew back. And then my mom and sister helped me drive cross country.
Wow.
And my sister had to be back at work. Raquel, thank you so much. I'm indebted to you and mom. My sister, my mom, we did it in 3 days. We pretty much didn't stop because my sister had to be back at work. But yeah, she got me
mad
here.
Rush out to California. It's like the gold rush.
Yeah. So she helped me and we made it safely, and she made her flight back to North Carolina. My mom helped me get set up. We went to IKEA in Burbank. I never forget it. On the 3rd floor, we felt our first earthquake.
Oh my God.
And my mom was like, I don't know if this is what you want to do, baby. And I was like, are you sure? I was like, Mom, it's going to be okay.
I'm not going to leave my baby here.
Yeah. It's going to be okay. And so she helped me come out here and got me set up. And my dad was still, very supportive. He didn't make the trip with us cross country, but he too was always supportive. So yeah, got set up and just tried to figure my way out. I never forget, at the time, I didn't know where anything was. And this was the time of Thomas Guide. If you know what a Thomas Guide is, it was
We've had to talk about Thomas Guide.
Yeah, it was the utmost, like it was like your survival kit to get around in LA.
Yeah.
Man, I started watching the news and there was like this whole period where people were like kind of like shooting on the highway. So I wasn't taking the highway streets. Yeah. So I was taking the side streets with my Thomas Guide, and it like took me forever to get to places. But anyway, I got there, with doing the background. I learned my way around this city so quick between the Thomas Guide and doing background, because you have to go to these different places. Yeah. And it was just like, I was so alive. I was so like doing it. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm making it. Yeah. And it was great. Yeah. And I'm working consistently, and you're just like on top of the world. And then like
how long, when you first moved out here, how long did it take you to get that first job?
My roommate.
Okay.
So he knew someone, and so it was quick.
Okay.
So he was like my lucky break into regards to that.
Yeah. It's always knowing someone.
It is always knowing someone. But even like in my case, I didn't know anyone. And it was just, and I'll say this, and I mean it so truthfully when I say it, you really have to be blessed to be lucky. Because a lot of it is luck. Because
you just so happen to be with this roommate who just so happened.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So he made a transition a lot easier for me, and I'm grateful for that. And when I was working, it was great. But then there was the period where I wasn't working. And that was really like uncertainty. And it's very stressful because when you're not working and you're trying to figure out, you're reaching out to people and you're wondering where your next gig is going to come from, and you're not sure yourself. It's like, it's very anxious and it's very nerve wracking. So you really have to prepare for those times as well.
I'm really excited that you brought up your like side gig of real estate. I was about to say real estate, because we all talk about how we have our gigs to like make consistent money or some sort of money to get you by the inconsistency. Yeah. Yeah. How did you land on real estate? I keep wanting to say retail.
No, that's
again, I can't find the words.
Craigslist. I applied to a job on Craigslist. This broker was looking for someone who could take photos. I can take photos, who can write up descriptions. I can write up descriptions. And lo and behold, he actually kind of like needed an assistant. I just kind of looked up on it, and I was able to do like the creative side, which was great for me because it allowed me to still like use my skills in that regard, but also learn a lot. And I did learn a lot from real estate because I love it. Yeah. So hopefully, maybe one day we can produce a real estate show together, and you can be the host, and
HGTV.
Yes, yeah, Netflix, Apple, Amazon, who else? Tubi, all these. Yeah.
What other? Yeah,
TikTok.
So how do you juggle and prioritize all the things that you do? Meaning, like, you have the set PA, you also write, you also produce and direct, and then the acting. I mean, I'm sure some of it is a matter of like whatever the next job that comes is where you're gonna go. But how do you prioritize which one's which? Which one are you like?
I think,
do you pursue one over the other?
What my experience has been is that in this industry, it's important to be about what you're doing right now, but it's also important to have something of what you're working on. So if I say, I'm working on this show, but in 2 weeks I'm filming a short, it keeps people interested.
Right.
So it's not just about like what I'm working on right now. Like 2 days ago, I shot an apartment building. And so I had that, but I'm also working on a short film that I met with the guy that I met at the festival, who was a driver. I'm helping him produce his short. So I just think it's important to always be creating.
Yeah.
And so we live in a time now where you don't need to have a Panasonic DVX, but I think it's important that you're always putting something out there. And I need to listen to this podcast myself and take my own advice. But the people that I see that are creating and making their own ends in the industry are the ones that I feel will have long-term stability in this industry, because it's so uncertain.
Yeah.
And so when you're waiting for the opportunity, you kind of need to be creating your own opportunity, your own kind of like your own wave.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, because there's jobs that are out there that you can work.
Yeah.
And then there are jobs that you need, like you said, need to create. And I think it's definitely important.
It is. It's definitely important. And when you do look at a lot of the people that their names are on the show, they started by creating. So as much as I love being on set, I love it. Like I wouldn't take it, like working with you and the rest of the team on that TV show. It was great from the producers in the 80s, but you're also there 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. So you also have to factor that in. So if you're trying to write and like kind of do your own thing, it's quite a balancing act.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to have an end goal, because unless you want to be a PA, which means you want to be an AD eventually, you want to have something more than unless you just want to be a PA, which is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people do aspire to be either like in a higher capacity, whether that is an AD, a director, or a producer.
Well, because PA work is hard.
It's extremely hard.
Work.
It's extremely hard.
At minimum wage.
It is. It's very low paid.
So you always want to, like, no matter what, I feel like everyone kind of wants to like bump up more at the end of the day, just a little bit, you know, just maybe enough to retire at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. Do a little bit more, don't have to worry about whether or not you can, afford gas.
Well, let's talk about Craigslist. Like, do you still recommend that? I know we've been like, going at it, but I haven't.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do still recommend Craigslist. It's the best.
Yeah.
Why would I not?
Okay, Craigslist sponsor us.
But I should like put in there like sidebar. Be careful.
Yeah.
It's Craigslist.
Yeah, it's Craigslist. It's shady for a reason sometimes. Well, and like even on Facebook, like I've gotten the recommendation for PA jobs to go on Facebook, but there's always like you'll apply and like you'll see that the profile is like basically blank, and then it'll come back and they'll be like, here's your job description. It'll entail you like, it's like all these different things that you're like, this is amazing. Oh, they're paying me more than minimum wage. What are you talking about? And then it's like, and then you are to buy equipment and blah, 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 and then like send it to us and and you're like, wait, buy equipment.
Yeah.
Buy it out of my own money. And then they pay, like reimburse you. I'm like, that doesn't sound...
Yeah, if it's a red flag, then you should probably adhere to it, that it's not your thing. So don't do it. Don't be so eager that you'll fall for anything. But
be smart with it for sure. But yeah, that'll happen on Facebook too. It's like those little.
Yeah, I mean, there's Craigslist, there's Mandy.com. I haven't gotten anything from Mandy, but ShareGrid is another resource. People.
ShareGrid's really great, right? That's for also renting equipment.
And you can also hire people from there.
Oh, really?
Post jobs on there. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So they have jobs on there too.
Nice.
But yeah, I cannot say enough about Craigslist. I have seen the opposite side of Craigslist too. So you can also get burnt. I have gotten burnt off Craigslist.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wait, let's hear a horror story.
Well, don't
just a quick one.
Don't give out like too much information without like meeting the person and vetting them. If they have like grammatical errors in their ad, don't reply, because that's pretty sure something's not quite right with that.
No social security number.
Yeah, no. So definitely do not give your social out. Do not give your home address out. Preferably not your phone number either.
What about for like set PAing? Because that's how we met.
Yes.
Favorite part, least favorite part?
My favorite part is that I feel like I'm always grateful to be on set, and I don't take it for granted. And I think it's really easy for it to feel like a job. But I also realize this is what I came out here for. Mm-hmm. And I try to make it purposeful.
Right.
So whether it's, Tiffany at such and such needs a cup of coffee. Well, that cup of coffee is going to help the actor deliver those lines in a way that has never been seen before. And it's going to be the most amazing cup of coffee.
Yeah.
If I have to do a set sound lockup, let's make sure this post is so clear that when they get in there, they don't have to do any cleaning up with the audio. Yeah. So if there's any suggestions or advice I can give when you are a set PA, is to know that there's a lot of moving parts, and don't take it for granted, mm-hmm. because it's an opportunity.
It's kind of crazy too. I feel like with set PAs, like there are, like you do think of it, like I think we were talking about this where you're saying like you think of it a lot of times as like, oh, you're just grabbing coffee. Mm-hmm. But there's actually a ton of responsibility as a set PA, and you're not just a gopher. Like you help run the show. Like
definitely.
A huge part. And there is, although it's not a creative side in terms of like storytelling, there is a creativity in a lot of like problem solving that you're having to do. That's all you're doing all day is problem solving and making sure that people are where they need to be.
Yes.
At a certain time, communicated with well.
Yes.
All the above.
And also keeping the momentum of the set moving forward.
Yeah.
Like it's so important for a production to meet its day. So mm-hmm. even though you're there for like 12, if you're a PA, 12 plus hours, it's important to always keep the production moving forward. Even mm-hmm. though like, I feel like as PAs, we assist the ADs with that to help them to make sure that they are making their days and every shot is getting made and, we're staying on schedule. But it's, time is money. Mm-hmm. And that's even more, I feel like stressful, especially if you're like a first AD, because a lot of that weight is on their shoulders to make sure that they are pushing the momentum.
While keeping it safe too.
And while keeping it safe, for sure.
Like sometimes your lockups are not just sound lockups, not just like don't walk in the frame, but like we have an explosion going off over here, so no one walk over here, otherwise you're gonna get burned. Like like literally.
Yeah. So, and there's safety and liability and all that goes with it. So it's important.
Least favorite part?
My least favorite part would be the pay. I mean, I'm being honest, because the reality is I volunteer for a lot of shorts, a lot of features. And if someone calls me and says, Tiffany, can you help me? I'm like, what time do I need to be there? What do you need? And I'm so sincere about it, because the reason I want to do this is because I do love producing, and I love to see an idea come together. When I read a script and I get on set and I see those actors deliver those lines and it hits, and that that's a special moment, it is magical.
Yeah.
But if I'm on a set that has the monetary means, I would love to get paid more. But who wouldn't? So if there's anything I would say about being a PA is the pay. Yeah. And I would just like to get paid more. Outside of that, I'm here. How can I help you? What do you need? And we're in California. It's painful expensive out here. It's not just expensive, it's painful. So just know, if you're listening to this and you're wondering, should you move to California? I would tell anyone yes. Just know that it's extremely painfully expensive. And if you're trying to do the industry, know that there is a lot of riptides and there's a lot of stillness that you have to prepare for.
Well, I also think that just with like the history of the film industry in the last like 10 plus years that you know you've been a part of, and like I've seen some of it. Like we had the writer's strike that was like what, like that was like 9 years. That was in 2009, I think, right?
2008, 2009, yeah.
2008, 2009 was the writer's strike, big writer's strike that took out things for like months.
Yes.
And then we had the pandemic that took out things for months.
Yes.
I mean, that kind of affected everyone, but still. And by the way, there is like, as we're recording this, I don't know exactly how it'll, like when this goes up, like what the outcome's going to be, but there is another potential writer's strike.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention the S word. I don't want it because it's
don't
like,
mention it 3 times, otherwise it'll appear behind you.
And then next year there's one with all the like the big unions.
Yeah. IATSE right after. Yeah. So there is. I mean, eventually they do help everyone out in the long run, anyways, because they're fighting for certain rights and pay and everything, which is great. But at the end of the day, because that is very much a real thing, like, and that's why, and two, because these productions, you're going on a production. I mean, we were just on a show that it shot 21 episodes for 9 months, and yet here we are without work now. You know, like we're done with that show.
Yeah.
For now, there's a season 3 coming, so that's exciting. But
thanks for us.
Yeah, that's true. As long as the writer's strike doesn't fuck things up. But now we're out of work. We have to find other things to do.
It's a freelance industry.
It really
everyone is freelance. Yeah. Even if you're lucky and blessed enough to have like a first look deal at a studio, that means they have the first look. That doesn't mean they're going to buy it. So people have to understand, like, you're constantly on your hustle. You're constantly on your grind.
Yeah.
And networking is essential and is important. But just know it's just a very uncertain industry.
Yeah.
And
I feel like too, and for some people, and sometimes I feel like this is part of like the waves personally, is being able to keep the like creative alive, like while, and just trying to like stay inspired for your personal projects while you're working like 12-hour plus days.
Right.
Like that also is hard. Like that I feel like sometimes comes in waves, but also has a certain amount of discipline. How do you do that?
For me, I think it's really important to have, a lot of people say your tribe. So I'll say tribe too, but it's important for you to have a support system. So it's important for you to be around other creatives that are like, look, I get it. You just work 12 hours as a PA. Do you want to be a PA your whole life? No. So let's get out here. Let's write. Let's shoot. Let's edit. Let's create. Because if not, you will stay in the, I don't want to say the red race, but you'll stay constantly in this cycle of not doing your own stuff.
Well, and I feel like too, it's such a balance between how am I going to make rent and how am I going to like feed myself, my body, but then feed my soul.
Right.
Like, and the feed my soul is the creative. Like as a set PA, like I said, like there's creative problem solving, but it's not your creative storytelling that I personally want to like eventually do in the long run. Right. Yes. And so, I think that balance is like,
it's a delicate balance, and it's hard because when you are, worried about your next paycheck, it's hard to be creative. But I think it's during those times that's when you need to do it the most.
Yeah.
Tiffany, listen to this podcast. Listen to yourself, girl.
Yeah.
Right. Shoot. Edit. Put it out there.
Let's talk about writing, because when we had our little pre-interview, you were talking about the importance of writing. Let's hear you say it.
It's so essential. Oh my goodness. Everything is writing. Like when you see a moment on screen, it's the writer. Granted, it's the actor that's bringing that moment alive, but it's the writing that's like catching that essence.
Yeah.
So it all starts with the writing. Gotta write.
Yeah.
Even when it's painful. Like I think I'm a Virgo, and so we're very
Monique is silently screaming over here. She is also Virgo.
So as Virgos, we're very critical of ourselves, and we're very perfectionist, and it can get in our own way. And I am so guilty of this, where I'm like, when I look at some certain movies, there's so much terrible stuff out here on TV. It's so much bad stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? They did it. For better or worse, they are doing it. Mm-hmm. And when I see it, I'm at a place now, I don't even critique people's stuff because I'm like, one, it is so hard to get your stuff made. And it is so hard to put it out there and feel like safe in an environment. Like, you know what? I'm going to put it out there to the world. And if it sucks, it sucks. But do it. Mm-hmm. If it's bad, do it. If it's good, great. But at least you can say you've done it. And that's why it's so important to be creating.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying like, there's a lot of good stuff too. Like I just watched Ted Lasso's new season is out, and I like Ted Lasso. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out, but there's a lot of good stuff where I watch and I'm just like, I can't believe that got made. So why am I not like making it? So do it.
I also think because I've throughout like my few years of like set PA and everything, I've found so many people who have said, I want to do XYZ. Like I want to write, I want to produce, I want to direct, I want to do whatever I'm not doing right now. Right. Mm-hmm. And there's so many people who aren't doing those things or have never actually done it. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, even like small time, like short film type stuff. And mm-hmm. I'm like, you know, you got to get out and do it. Cause you're going to start as like bad, like you're not going to be good your first, like it's going to be rare. If you're good, more power to you, but like 1 in a million is going to be good. Like it's always going to be bad. And the whole point is it's a learning. And the more you do it, the more you learn.
Jessica, listen to this podcast. It's called the OGs, right? It'll help you get out of your comfort zone. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I totally hear you with that. Is there anything else that you want to add to the podcast before you?
I just want to say that it's important for people to know that whether you believe you can do it or not, they're both true. And that's really important. And I think it's also important to run your own race and ride your own wave, because it's very easy to get caught up in, oh, such and such has done so much more. Yeah. But even if you start like right now at this very moment, it's still not too late for you. Mm-hmm. But just start, just do it. And also know that if you are looking at doing entertainment, that it is a very up and down industry. Mm-hmm. I look at like the Oscars for this past weekend. Both of those actors had been out of work for like 20 some years. They hadn't really worked. And so know that as hard as it may seem for someone new that's trying to break into the industry, it is equally as hard to stay relevant. And I think you have to take that and do with it as you will, but know that if you feel like in your essence that it is meant for you to do it, then it will be. And don't let that stop you, and don't get in your own way. And Tiffany, please listen to this podcast. But don't get in your own way. So if there's anything, just ride your wave. Know that this industry is extremely hard, but if you feel that you can do it, then you can. Have a support system, have your family, your friends. And for me, I have rekindled my relationship with God, because this industry will make you question a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So you really have to know who you are and what you are about, and know your purpose and your why. Do it, do it, do it. And if you start right now, good for you. If you start tomorrow, good for you. But regardless, do it.
Well, thank you. Because
thank you.
Yeah, I think too, like it's tough. And just the examples you brought up of our actors that just recently won their awards, like it's so true. Like I feel like I wake up every day being like, did I make the right choice? Am I in the right industry? Should I just be like a manager at Walmart or something? Like, am I fine just doing that? Like, or is this grind, this hustle, like, because it's hard to keep it going.
It is. But we'll say, right, like when my partner asked me, do you still enjoy it? Yeah. And when I can no longer say yes. And I think also too, for me, when I have tried everything that I have, mm-hmm. Everything that I have in me, that's when I'll be like, I'm happy with it. Mm-hmm. I haven't done that yet. That's why I need to listen to this podcast. Yeah. But when I have given it my all and in my truth, whether it's like when you see it like, Tiffany, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, I can honestly say, but you know what? It's good enough. Mm-hmm. And I think that's saying a lot. Yeah. When you can truthfully say you've done that, then you can walk away knowing that you've given it your all.
Yeah. Damn. All right, so we're all in tears over here.
Uh,
Let's talk about where can people find you to hire you and bring you on their projects.
Yeah, where can people find me? Craigslist.
You post on Craigslist wanting a Tiffany Hughes.
Don't not Craigslist. But yeah, I'm on Instagram. My handle is The Right Act, and it's TheWriteAct.
And it'll be in our show notes as well.
Yeah, The Right Act. So yeah, do it. Don't get in your own way. Get out of your way. Take your wave.
Thank you so much for
Hey, thanks guys. Good job. You guys are doing it. Exciting.
Yeah. Hello, beautiful listeners, and thank you for listening to Get Set, the Tranquil podcast about film and television. Not really, but thank you so much for listening. If you have anything you'd like to hear about, whether it's a industry job or a dream guest within reason, let us know. We'd love to talk about it on an episode, and send us an email at getsetpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. Thanks.